My name is Avi Rodriguez. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at DocVA. So thank you so much for joining us today, Doctor, and we truly appreciate your time. So this would just be short, informal conversation. So there are no right or wrong answers. We just want to capture your real experience working with DocVA. So to start with, Doctor, can you just introduce yourself by sharing your name, your role, the type of practice or specialty that you're in, and your location?
Yep. So my name is Dr. David Shadrick. I'm at Davis Square Chiropractic, which is in Somerville, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston. Um, I've owned the practice since 2010. It's a chiropractic office. It's myself. It's a staff of about 8. So it's like there's 5 or 6 chiropractors besides me. The front desk, there's some billing people. Yeah, and I've been there since 2010. Anyway.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. And before working with DocV, what challenges or pain points were you experiencing in your practice or operations?
Yeah. So this is where DocVA has fundamentally changed like my sort of experience with how the practice had been going. Um, with like, it's a small office, so I'm not able to like bring on like a full-time, like also practice management that can like handle all the responsibilities. So essentially I was doing a lot of it. So if I'm not the days I'm not seeing patients, I'm calling insurance companies. I'm following up with staff on things. There's authorizations to happen. There's letters to write to patients. There's emails to respond to. And the staff could do some of that, but they couldn't handle all of it. So what was happening like last year specifically, it was all just building up. We switched to a new software platform, Jane, which is great. But it kind of made us aware of like any little things that weren't matching up exactly. So all of these things sprouted up and we could not manage them all. And I could not manage them all. Every other weekend, I was spending both Saturday and Sunday, like taking care of balance reports and trying to like send out invoices. I have 2 teenagers. My wife has her own business. It was too much. And I was like feeling like buried. So I didn't know what steps to take to like change that. I couldn't, the front desk was certainly like feeling burned out. They only have limited hours to help. So it really did fall on me. So I heard about this option. So I looked into it and I was matched with someone named Cecil. And for the first month, I sort of trained her and we met every day or every like 2 days a week or whatever, like on the things that I do. And it has fundamentally changed the experience of everyone in the practice. The doctors were being asked to do too much. I was doing way, way too much. The front desk was burning out because they were like having patient interactions but being stressed about like trying to be on hold with Blue Cross. So the patient interactions were not going as well. So Doc VA and Cecil sort of took on almost all the administrative stuff in the background. So the practice is a completely different practice right now, like for the perspective of the providers and the staff and me.
Wow. So I was just about to ask you, like, how your doc virtual assistant Cecil helped address those challenges, and what improvements have you noticed since bringing her on? So, yeah, I think you kind of answered, but is there anything else that you would like to add on that?
Yeah. So in fact, sometimes these things have to happen with what the stuff I had different people doing so many different tasks that we sort of streamlined. So I had one person, like an independent contractor doing billing, they're no longer doing the billing with the office. They were fine and set to retire anyway at some point. But Cecil took on that responsibility, which was like first. And then she's so talented, seeing like right. I actually intended Doc VA to be like a 20-hour a week thing. And immediately I saw like, oh no, there's so much that Cecil can handle. So it started with like posting and billing and insurance. Then it moved on to like following up with insurance companies and all that stuff. Then it was responding to emails. Then it was like reaching out to patients. Then it's running all the reports. Actually, this past Monday, I've been in practice a long time, so I had never used social media. Wasn't thrilled about the idea of doing it. Didn't have time to even consider how to do it. This past Monday, so 4 days ago, we made our first post, and it was like me recording it with like my kids. But then Cecil helped edit it, get it posted on Facebook. So even handling that stuff that like I honestly never thought I would even have time to get to, is now we're able to do because of Cecil, like in Doc VA, handling so many of the responsibilities.
Oh, okay. You've been answering my next questions because my next question was what specific does Cecil has been handling in your practice? And you just mentioned about even managing in social media, right? Any other tasks that she's been handling on a daily basis?
There's been things that have been like, so on a daily basis, it's basically everything. It's posting insurance, it's looking for duplicates. It's yesterday there was like 6 rejected claims. People gave us wrong insurance numbers. So at this point, like I'll see it and say, oh, Cecil, I saw 6 got rejected. And she's like, okay, I'll let you know tomorrow how, what I find. So she's taking on so much more stuff like independently, which is amazing because that's ultimately a huge goal for me. There's even been times where like I would be working, say, like seeing patients for the day, and someone would say, "Hey, the backup, I got some notification that like the backup isn't working on our drives and something's going on." And I would be in between patients, like trying to like look and see what could happen. And this was about a month ago or 2 months ago, and it was like through Carbonite, our backup system. And I was like, "Hey, Cecil, I'm stuck. I'm with patients, but here's the login and password. Can you look and see what's going on?" And when I checked back in 2 hours, she was like, Doc, it's all set. There was some mapping error, and I talked to them and I fixed this. And it was like, wow, I'd never anticipated this level of like competence and expertise from anyone that I would hire, in a role like this. But it's been phenomenal. So anything that like could happen remotely has like she's been really like taken care of.
Wow. And that leads to my question, Dr. Dave. Why would you recommend DocVA to your colleagues or peers? We were just talking about this before we start.
Yeah, I do recommend it to anyone that I speak to. A friend of mine who I just talked to this morning, he's at week 7 with DocVA, and he was about to hire someone locally and to work his front desk and handle some of the insurance, but he couldn't really pull it off because of the hours that were needed, the insurance costs, like the parking pass, and all these things added up to be too expensive. So he just continuing to do it on his own. And I mentioned to him that this is what I've been doing. So he said, "Oh, do you like it?" I said, "I don't like it. I mean, it's fundamentally changed the practice. I love it." So he started it. I have a couple other friends who I've also been talking to about it because it's honestly one of those things. It's like when you find a trusted referral or something like that. Um, I wouldn't give this like a rating of a 7 or 8 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 or it's an 11 out of 10. I'm not, a paid spokesman for DocVA, but I feel like I like am because I'm so happy with the service. It's really been, it's really, yeah, it's, I would recommend it for any practice, any small, like I can only speak to my situation. In a practice like this, where you're the owner and you're seeing patients, I find there's too many things to manage on my own. And I've done this for a long time. But I couldn't continue at the pace that I was at. So Doc VA has really shifted the balance back to like a more balanced like life for me and practice life. So that's the big thing for me.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Dave. So we couldn't like thank you enough for these great words and for sharing your experience, and definitely your feedback helps other practices make informed decisions, and we truly, truly appreciate your partnership, Dr. Dave.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, and it's funny. Even like today, something came up. My front desk uh, told me they can't make it on Thursday. So, it's funny, but like I fill in at the front desk if someone isn't there, as long as I'm not seeing patients that day. And patients will be like, "Why are you at the front desk?" So, on Thursday, Cecil, I'm just going to forward the phone to Cecil. She'll answer the phone. If people want to schedule an appointment, I'm just going to put a sign up that says they can call our phone number and she can schedule it, or they can do it online with our software. So the flexibility that it offers has been amazing. And I'm still finding new ways, of value from DocVA and from Cecil.
Wow, I'm glad that you're able to maximize, okay, everything that a virtual assistant could do, and I'm just so happy that when we initially had conversation, you said that it's a perfect match, and I'm grateful for you and for being a blessing to Cecil
Thank you.
and to Doc VA. So yeah,
And
anything else? I'm sorry, go ahead.
yes, yes, so if people, so I had heard, I didn't know DocVA specifically, so I just want to tell anyone who's like looking how I found DocVA. So there was another chiropractor that I know. He's local and he's using a virtual assistant. He kept telling me how great it is. It's been amazing. The service that he recommended to me was a virtual assistant. The upfront costs, I don't remember exactly, but the upfront cost to get started, the sign-on fee, the finding the person, the matching, all that stuff, I think it was a minimum of like 7,500. It might have been closer to 10,000, but it was like a heavy upfront cost. But it was like it was pitched as an investment, and I understand all the work that goes into that. So that's what scared me off because I thought, well, what if this doesn't work? That's a lot of money to put in to something that like I'm not sure what to expect. So I was kind of sold on the idea of virtual assistant, but that price tag of upfront cost, was a bit daunting. So I just Googled it and I read about a few different options. And DocVA, when I called, I was like, all right, how much will it be? 5,000, will it be 22,500 or something? And what was amazing, as you know, it's your, part of the big part of the company. There was no upfront costs. I matched with like I talked about specifically what I was hoping to match with. Um, the interviews were set up. As soon as I met Cecil, I was like, oh, I read her bio and it looked great. And then we connected, and then she started. And I think if after 2 weeks it hadn't worked, it would have just been like, okay, I guess I could move on. And I was that, there was like minimal cost. So DocVA does all of the like intro, all of the finding, and it's all wrapped up into, the fees that you see. There's no surprises. The in the initial stages also, like when you're trying to figure out how to use a phone to connect, or like what services to use, or how to use Google Drive, there's always support available for that. And that's all the cost that you'll see up front. So I've never seen a surprise from DocVA. The only surprises that I've seen have been positive surprises.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Dave. Your words are definitely encouraging for us to, do much, much better and do the best to be able like to provide
You already
excellent
do.
services to our
Yes,
client.
you already do.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much, Dr. Dave. Yes. Well, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for your time, and you do have a wonderful day.
All right, I am going to meet with Cecil in about half an hour. So
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay, this is great. We're going to
All
share
right.
this as well to
All right.
her. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thanks, Dr. Dave. Take care.
Bye.